today is going to be drastically different in the future, that biology is the technology, and that you, every single one of you in this room, is positioned to change the course of life on this planet and on other planets too. A, C, T, and G is how life stores information the way that computers store information in zeros and ones. It's the source code of life, and all life on Earth runs on the same operating system, which is DNA. And as it turns out, that operating system is also open source. But when we think about our DNA, your human DNA has about 3 billion base pairs in it, and 99.9% of your DNA is identical to that of every other person on the planet. But this democratization and dematerialization of this technology has really big implications, right? What does it mean when everybody's walking around with a DNA sequencer in their pocket? Well, the problem is you are leaving DNA behind you every second of the day. Everything you touch, your lanyard, your pen, your glasses, the seat that you're sitting on, the cups that you use, every single one of those things you are leaving behind your DNA. What would you do, even when you get your DNA sequenced, what are you supposed to do with it? How do you extract actionable insights from that? But one thing that I think is really important about this democratization of this technology is it means that places like South Africa or Africa in general that historically have not been sampled for any type of big DNA analysis, right? Like pharmacogenomics, for example, using your DNA to figure out which medicine you're going to respond to the best. That's almost exclusively run on white Europeans and white Americans of European ancestry. That's not going to help the vast majority of people in the world. So there are programs like the South African Human Genome Program who are distinctly working on enriching the world's knowledge of the genetic diversity that's contained in Africa. Africa's populations are the oldest populations, which means they have the most genetic diversity in them. So it's a really, really exciting opportunity. So what we're seeing is a radical shift away from what healthcare looks like today, which is mostly reactive, right? You wait until you have a headache before you go to the doctor, and the doctor does a brain scan and realizes you have a tumor. That's reactive medicine. That's what we're doing right now. But these types of large biological data sets and really amazing advances in sensors and DNA computing and all these technologies you're hearing about today means that we are shifting into a predictive and preventive model where, let's say, I can picture very clearly a world in which every person has their genome sequenced at birth, or maybe even before. If you do IVF, you can do this before. The marginal costs of DNA sequencing are falling so rapidly that it's going to be pennies, maybe 2 cents, 2 US cents, in order to sequence a human genome by 2025 at the latest. So what that means now is that we have huge biological data sets. We have lots of ways of analyzing them and of extracting personalized real-time insights from this. And this isn't science fiction. This is happening right now.